In today's story, I wanted to talk about how video games can change people's lives. They can make people see things a different way. They can make people better, worse. And the story I'm covering is about how a young girl's life was altered because of the video game Journey. Now, not a lot of people have really played Journey, but they probably know about it. It's an interesting game where you are on a journey and you're to get to the end. You have one individual to control, and that is your job. You are to get them to the end. So this game kind of was like a walking simulator with a puzzle included, and the individual I'm talking about is named Sophie Ourubros. I hope I said that right. I probably didn't say it as suave as I should have, but I'm sorry. She was 15 when her father was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer, which means he was going to die. But she has spoken about how Journey affected her life, and she wrote the gaming company a letter discussing her story and her ordeal. So I'm going to quote her here. Towards the end of the game, it suddenly gets really cold and icy, and it becomes really difficult to progress. Eventually, your character sort of gives up. You can't go on any longer, and at that point in time, my dad and I thought it might have been the end of the game. It was a sort of sad ending. Until minutes later, the game comes back up, and you're at your goal. You're at a beautiful mountaintop filled with the creatures you've seen in the world below. And it's a beautiful example of the end, and that it doesn't have to be a bad thing. So she wrote a letter to that game company, yes, that's the name of the game company, telling them. And the company's co-founder, Genova Shen, read the letter and eventually invited Sophia to come visit the studio. Quoting Chen, "These people who are touched by the game will share their life with us. The fact that we can change people is something, I don't know, it warms the heart. Every time I read your letter, I cry," Chen stated to Sophia. "When you tell us what your game to make your life better, it's the coolest thing in my life. I just feel we need to make sure our next game doesn't disappoint." So I wanted to talk about how video games can change your life, and this is an obvious instance where her father was dying, and that when you get to the end of the game, you die in Journey. But you wake up in the afterlife, and you're with all of the individual's friends that helped you along the way. And so, even though you may not have made it while you were living, you made it to the end regardless. And that is the point of the game, as I see it, as my analyzation sees it. And if you can analyze it any differently, well, hey, you know, maybe her friends helped her up the mountain and she didn't die, or he didn't die, whatever. So there's that. So, games have a serious impact on individuals. Ever since I was like 2 or 3 years old, one of my earliest memories is playing Contra with my dad. And lo and behold, I love action, fighting, type B games where you're side-scroll action-y and FPS games, and I've really enjoyed those games. And I wonder if that game influenced that. But, you know, beating Pokemon for the first time, that thrill, that feeling that you overcame Lance and the tough trainer Blue, you know, at the end. It's something. It stirs emotions just as if a movie would be able to stir those emotions in you, and it can change your viewpoint for the rest of your life, depending on which games you play. Games can be helpful and beneficial too, from helping you read and be able to learn very advanced wording in dictionary definitions to something completely different, you know, experience puzzle solving that you would never experience unless you played that game. Metroid's a big one for that. Zelda, again, another big one for that. Games help you with your reflexes. They help your cognitive skills and understanding of the world before you get out into the actual world. And if you are a gamer when you are young, you have a distinct advantage over individuals, because to do the same exact things that you do in those video games, you would have to set up a giant arena just to be able to do that. You know, some people, they don't have room in their houses, they don't have time to go out, and these are ways people can experience the world without fear of death. And this, again, this Journey story is a way someone can experience death without actually killing themselves or dying. And I find that to be the best thing about video games. People have told me before that my theories, they entertain people, they make people smile, they uplift people, and they love them, and they're happy about them. And I think that is one of the coolest things ever also, to be able to help someone, to be able to make someone feel better within their day, instead of just shitting on someone or shitting on something. And yeah, so that's about it. I know I'm a critic, I know I talk badly about a lot of things, but there are good stories. It's just they're far and few between, and I'm sorry that just happens to be the nature of the world. So ladies and gentlemen, why don't you tell me a story that influenced you greatly in the comment section below. And I have been your host, Protomario, and I'm signing out. And as always, good gaming, and God bless.
Thanks for watching my video and making it to the end. And would you please consider subscribing to my channel? By subscribing to my channel, you are not only supporting me, but also joining a community that is against stereotypes, lies, and fraud in gaming. I work my hardest to inform my subscribers of important stories that might affect them. From new games to important updates, the Mavericks are always informed. If you are tired of political correctness ruining your gaming experience, then join my rebellion, because PC isn't for me. And if it isn't for you either, consider yourself a friend of the Mavericks. Subscribe today and you'll be in good hands. Mavericks unite, and together we can keep gaming from falling prey to the people that would not only censor it, but also destroy it.